last year, but the overall number of crimes reported by police in England and Wales has fallen by 6%.
Sex and relationship education is to be made compulsory in all primary and secondary schools in England. BBC Pulse people support the idea that compulsory lessons being given to children under the age.
Anyway, this is back to the point now. Gravity. Oh, hang on a second. Something about some Japanese.
Have made 17 arrests. All are believed to be Chinese nationals. 3 men are being held on suspicion of murder. The bodies of Zhen Yang and his girlfriend Zi Zhu were found in their home in August.
So the guy Theros will.
Oh, it's just some kind of triad or something like that, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, right then. Warped magnetic field drive. People think, oh, it's Star Trek, out of this world shit. Well, when I was about 13, 14, I watch a lot of TV news and BBC documentaries. I'm a loner. I just sat at home all day watching television. I didn't go out playing a lot. I went out quite a lot on the BMX and what have you, but when I came home I didn't watch crap. I watched BBC documentaries and stuff like that and the news. That's what I was into. I didn't watch EastEnders and what have you. And I watched this one documentary where they've got this boat and it was in a Japanese harbour, and the BBC reporter or the BBC documentarist, whatever you want to call him, was on this boat with these Japanese people, and I can't remember seeing any Japanese people. All I can remember is this bloke going around showing you all the gubbins or whatever. He couldn't go inside the ship. All he could do is to show you the outside of the ship. And the basic story was this: the ship or the boat had no propeller, and it had no sails. It just had a big magnetic field producing device in it, and you could see the, like, have you ever seen a substation where it's got all the little like pipes going around, and it got all that on it, like, yeah, and that's what you can see. All you can see was stuff that looked like a substation on it. And this thing did about 3 or 4 knots through I can't remember what harbour it was. It was one of the Japanese harbours, and it was there, and the BBC were recording it. No sails, no propellers, just sailing round and round. There it was. Off it was going, 3 or 4 knots maximum speed. Now, this obviously to me was like, well, how are they doing that? And the BBC documentary was just like, well, it's magnets. It was to do with magnetic fields they're doing this with, like, yeah. Whether they got a big magnet on the shore and they were just repelling it across the harbour, they didn't show you any big magnet on the shore. It was all self-contained. The boat, this boat is self-contained. Yeah, it wasn't on tow ropes or anything like that. It wasn't like a ferry, like let's say the ferry at Studland in England, Swanage, I think it's Swanage to Sandbanks. Not like that, where you've got 2 great big cables going from one part to the other, and it just runs across the cables. Nothing like that at all. Completely free. You can lift it out the harbour, ship it across to England, or fly it across to England, drop it into an English harbour, and it'll do exactly the same, or on its own, just with its own power source. Obviously, you need a power source. I don't know what power source it was. They didn't tell you any of that. They were just bragging that they got this ship, which was a warp magnetic field drive. Anyway, I'm going to end this recording because it's 3 minutes 47 seconds, and I'm going to leave it running for 10 minutes, so you might see some silly stuff. I'm going to go and get myself some food to do some more thinking with, because I'm getting a bit tired. Warp magnetic field drive, similar to this, yeah, like that, yeah, like that. I bet you any money I'm absolutely bang on the mark, like that. There you go, just like that, just like that. Just there. Anyway, let's stop me backup camera. Warp magnetic field drive, already possible, already done. I worked it out myself when I was around about 19, 20. I worked it out well. I know what I worked out was absolutely bang on, absolutely bang on. Got a thrust vector this way, you've got a thrust vector that way, and then you've got another thrust vector that way, which is slightly bigger, and this one's attached to that one, and that one's attached to this one, to that one, yeah, in certain ways. And it's really, 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 really interesting stuff. Warp magnetic, okay. Oh, it's going to come back on again, is it, eh? Oh, right, okay. No? Oh, it's not going to freeze then. Ah. So you don't want to hear about it then? Okay, cool. Yes, cool. I know I'm bang on the mark. And you're like going to get it for another 200 and something years? Well, it doesn't matter anyway, I'm going to upload it. It's going to be uploaded. Whichever way it's going to be uploaded, whether you stop it now or not, I'm going to go get myself some biscuits and tea. Alright? And whether you crash my program or not, don't care. I just don't care. The video's going on. Alright, just you crash it if you like. I just want to direct upload it. It's a lot easier and I can't be bothered doing it the other way. But if you make me, I will. So let's have the sound back on so I can listen to that while I'm making my food.
Now, detectives hunting the killers of a young Chinese couple in Newcastle have made several arrests today. Zi Zhu and Zhen Jingyang, who were both 25, were found dead in their flat in August. Police described the crime as one of the most vicious they have ever had to investigate. We got the latest a little earlier from our North of England correspondent, Raymond Buchanan.
There were raids at various locations earlier on this morning at 8 o'clock, both here in Newcastle, also in Morpeth in Northumberland and in County Durham. A total of 17 people are currently being questioned at police stations here in Newcastle. 3 men on suspicion of the murder of Jun Yang and his girlfriend Shi Zhou. Their bodies were found at their flat in the west end of Newcastle on the 9th of August of this year. Of the 14 others, they're believed to be questioned in relation either to conspiracy to commit burglary or for potential immigration offences. All 17 of those arrested this morning are believed to be Chinese nationals, as indeed were Jun Yang and his girlfriend Shi Zhou. At the time of their killing, police say the post-mortem examination had shown that both of them had died of knife wounds.
Raymond Buchanan speaking to us from Newcastle. Let's get some more reaction now to that news that sex education is to be compulsory in schools in England. We can talk to Gareth Davis. He's from the Terence Higgins Trust, the largest HIV and sexual health charity in Britain. He also sat on the steering group that helped formulate today's policy. Thanks very much for coming in. We've had a lot of emails and texts about this. Let's presume you welcome this, but what is a good age, do you think, to be teaching children about all aspects of sexuality?
Well, all aspects of sexuality I think should be taught of begun 5, 6, 7, but not about sex obviously, but really those building blocks that lead up to people understanding and appreciating, relationships and such things, like how to look after yourself, the importance of friendships, the importance of, family, and how to ask for help. Those really important things that young people need to understand.
Okay, so sex in terms of procreation,
yes,
perhaps at that age, but what age when sex is more recreational and perhaps same-sex relationships?
Well, young people say to us that they would like to learn about that in secondary school, at the beginning of secondary school, say 11, 12, 13, and that's that's when they start to learn more things off the TV, more things from the internet and so forth. So it's not a case of what age should we be teaching it, it's more about when are young people getting that information anyway and learning about it from other means other than school.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting also that this advice seems to come not in a sort of moral vacuum either. It does seem to be predicated on the fact that sex is part of a relationship, and is that something that you want to see stressed to children as well?
Yes, we want young people to feel safe and feel that in a relationship that the sex that they're having is something that they agree to and that's what they want. So yes, we would very much advocate that young people feel safe and feel that sex is something that they're choosing to do in a relationship that they're happy with.
Yeah, I mean, those who oppose this, of course, say that this sexualises children at an early age, and far from actually making children perhaps more responsible, actually encourages promiscuity.
I don't think that
what evidence do we have to
well, there's a huge amount of evidence that was part of the SRE review that I've just been part of, which demonstrates that giving young people really good sort of broad information around sex and relationships really informs them and helps them make really good choices about the sex they have and about the relationships they want. So none of it's not designed to corrupt or to encourage people to have sex, quite the opposite.
Okay, and one very, very brief final question, if I may.